Ehi la ciurma, io sono Matsetes e siamo su Wildermyth e riprendiamo da dove ci eravamo lasciati, per cui andiamo ad attaccare qua Dovlock Tower. Hill painters of Luta's Yellowtop have no qualms about sharing their knowledge and speak of an Islay treasure here in one of many pine-dressed vales. It's not the tower from the book, nor any kind of current site, but it is a library. We're wearing out our ankles for more books. The eccentric lore keeper Yonit Dane has purportedly collected books and scrolls for all her journey blessed life. The company's been hoping Dane's collection might lead them to the tower they seek. However, it looks like, Trixle, they remain milling in and out, awaiting our arrival it would seem. Then they forfeit their lives. Non è quello finale, vero? That is no our plan? O forse sì? Anything is possible, but at least we lose all hope before we do not overcredit her. Likely, she makes some effort to read the movement of things we come into contact with, and positions her pieces accordingly. It's like trailing a house fox, is it? You can only hope to see them when it rains. You watch where the water won't shift, see the displacement. A fine example. Or think of trying to track the obsidian owl across a night with no moon. You would watch for the stars to blacken and rekindle. So I believe it must be for her hoping to spot us under our shroud. The more we drag the rug, bump the furniture, the more visible we become. The price this poor lore keeper paid gives me a sick feeling. I shall patch our words, be safe. All for a chance of the scrap of a clue. Perina, dovevamo essere tutti qua, non il gruppo scarso. Non ci ho fatto caso, adesso ci prendiamo le pizze in faccia perché sono stato stupido. C'è il mondo intero, raga. Non è che riesce a fare molto, Con l'interfuse forse riesce a fare un po' di più. Vai. Sono un po' preoccupato, raga, perché qua... Qua ce la rischiamo davvero di brutto, perché siamo in un... non siamo nel boss finale, diciamo, però siamo in un boss e... Allora, no, andiamo con Grimlath prima. Ma quelli sono coperti. E tu, Zia, tu riesci a fare un... Un po' di pulizia, sì. Ed il Z dovrebbe riuscire almeno a picchiare lui. O andiamo a picchiare quell'altro. Quell'altro è molto più pericoloso, però la mandiamo un po' in mezzo a... È morto da gatto, buono. O dall'elettricità, non ho ben capito. Quel gatto l'ha attaccato di sicuro. Aia. Oh no, non finiscono più qua. Qua ci moriamo fortissimo. Brava. Etusia, io direi fai un chain lighting. Ora lui non so bene dove piazzarlo. Allora, tu e il Z. Ovviamente non sono in pari quei due. Ma può stare in sentinella e così ci piace. Ok, quello è andato in cover ma l'altro l'abbiamo seccato. Bravo, bravo! Quello che mi preoccupa di più è Etusia. Ah! Perché c'è gente fatta là sotto. E lei è anche avvelenata. Mettila, scendi qua. E picchia quello, brava. Etusia. Vai qua e non so cosa conviene. Lui un 81 lo scioglie, un 70. Proviamo con quello. Ok. Fai che secchiare questi due, va? Così LZ ti viene accanto. E fa un po' di danno a questa libellula del Menga. Bravo gatto. Aia! Non dire gatto se non ce l'hai nel sacco. Aia, LZ! Allora io la muoverei là perché così è Tusia. Oh. Ok. Ce l'ha fatta. Lei... Ah, questo c'ha le cose davanti. Ci prova lo stesso. Brava! Brava, Metea, brava! Vai qua, Grimlaff, e speriamo che riesca a pigliarli, bravo. Elsie, riesci? Ok. Stai in sentinella. Perché non so dove sono, più che altro. Tu stai qua. Ah, eccolo. Metea entra qua perché non sappiamo se c'è altra roba. Non sembra essercene altra, forse è l'ultimo rimasto. No, lui lo lascerei in attesa. No, nessun ambush va perché... Fallo qua l'ambush perché... Quelli adesso si splittano in due, esatto, e vorrei che lui fosse nella posizione giusta per potergli menare. Però non so se... perché c'hanno il tavolo davanti. Elsie! Brava, spacca il tavolo. Top, siamo riusciti a sopravvivere nonostante tutto, avevo una paura matta. Ed Elsie è anche salita di livello, ci aveva rischiato davvero di brutto, però per fortuna... Speed, a chi la diamo? Elsie, dai. Allora, c'è lo shred dell'armatura, 2 reazioni per turno. Vai, il doppio attacco ci piace. We're clean in here. I'll do one more sweep as far as that creek we saw, and then to the mountain's base. The wrapped bones of a lore keeper are pulled down and gently interred. Then, finding the shelves and rows manageable, they settle in for a hurried search. Their earlier hopes for insight are not entirely dead. I pulled a bunch that looked like they had to do with times of antiquity. One of them's called Legends of Old Kier. Good, that's promising. I'm just going to... where has Mothman gotten to? Stairs take her to a shadowy cellar. Make light if you like, I promise not to hurl myself into it. What are you doing down here? Over going through the library. And I'm perusing the volumes no one else can, namely those contained beneath this fleshy hat. You mean you're thinking in the dark? Put less charmingly, yes. Have you already found something, or did you compose a funny song you would like me to listen to? Only then does Etosia realize what's been gnawing at her. It's been more than 6 springs she's wanted a chance to ask. Because it's the best time for us to start what's probably an irrelevant conversation. You once told me you weren't responsible. Call it an accident of fate, little owl. Perhaps one day I will explain in full. For the troubles we're in, and Eluna seemed to blame you, and you wished to know why. You wished to hear about the beginning. Maybe it's water under the bridge. I'm not here to complicate anything. There is time for the quick version. You will have to fathom a far younger yonderling. How long ago did you mean? How old are you? Old enough that your great-grandparents never heard of my family. And they would have, had they been born in the right era. My father got called a king by the Overfond. Really, he was a leader of militia. He began that way, raising defenses against the hordes of the Shadow God. Trixle? No, back then we didn't think about Trixle. Deepists is what they called themselves, and still do. Sowers of sorrow, preying on the weak and disheartened. Insidious and everywhere in that age. On the twinned might of my father's blade and his bland gruff goodness, my family rose to wealth and prominence. Prince in a big fancy castle, fairly standard stories art. Yes, such things were more possible then. I was born amid a bounty of books, was taught to sew. Given beautiful, brilliant example to follow, my parents both wished peace for me. But legends roved their roads, walkers of myth, who painted the hills and protected the meek. They moved in number and skill heretofore unmatched. I was simply a boy, resembling more my mother, yet I wished so desperately to be like my father's heroes. At bay, you think? At bay was a popular attack phrase in those days, truly a golden age. So when do things turn? Oh, not long after I went wandering. I embarked in secret, knowing my parents would try to dissuade me, and knowing I would likely sway with even a thumb's push of well-argued wisdom. I was unbrave. Cowardly, that's called. Pardon me, is this your story? Mine's shorter. In any case, what I wanted was to beat Tyrion Strixire. He was a dazzling country knight, dauntless, irresistible, strong. I admired him from afar. I possessed no useful talents. All I had was desire. It is all a young man knows. It happened that I discovered a ruined room, buried deep in the rose girdle. Filled with strange weavings and crossed with threads and patterns I found entrancing and impossible. And that is how I found my very first glimmer scene. The door to the other side, and you just went through? I fell through, unwittingly. I bore what you now call the mystic's gift, and I believe it obeyed my curiosity. A quester's feet were right his fate. Sounds like you were caught, same way Eluna was. Eluna was abducted. The Thrixl proposed her passage. I was merely unlucky. I got tangled in nests not strung for me. You remember, Terrafract? The Thrixl ward. That is where I wound up, lost and seeking the night sky. My eyes found the moon, a moon to lead whether I would follow. Dayless years, it seemed, I spent mulling and meandering. It is hard to know, but it could not have been so long. At some point I began to think of myself as a moth, alone and fumbling towards the light. Terrafract is not a dream, it acts upon reality, it makes manifest what you imagine. For the unwary, this happens by accident. When I was in there, Eluna was working her own wishes on me, is that right? Indeed, you might have resisted had I been less creative from the start. This gift of mine, I can blame it for bringing me to the other side, but once there, it saved me from faring far worse, and then my abilities began to blossom. Is it just luck? Blood? I mean, I never thought a person with mystic ability was really so different from ordinary people. It is the essential split in our natures. Interfusion is a word you use. You have that proclivity, and may recognize you always did, for packing away the permanence of yourself, even and especially while sharing form and energy among your surroundings. That is what makes you and I passable world walkers. Passable? Merely passable. There is a limit to how definitely and for what duration our minds may preserve any image, even the image of ourselves. Our inner identities shift over time, and so it was that by the time I had realized how to return to my own land, I was quite transformed. They say you should never meet your heroes. Oh, I disagree. There are few things so productive as disappointment. Regardless, some memories are moons in the mist. Diffuse and shapeless, they may as well be glowing gas. I will spare you the details of the encounters and events that come after. Some are maudlin, some are mirthful, but most of are moth-eaten and old beyond mattering. That era is dead, and I am still here. Such is more or less my story. Alright, but why does this all make you responsible? The Thrixl took notice of me. When you crossed the glimmer scene? When I started toying with them, kickling their sand castles and causing a din to disrupt their operas, I had grown bored, you see. Bored? So you poured beer on a beehive? I thought it was funny. I believe it is what drove them to duplicate by accident in another. I did not anticipate that, but I do not think I cared enough to anticipate anything, not for a long time. Alright, I have to admit, I get it, but you didn't mean for all of this to happen. I'm honestly... It sounds like what I'd do in your place. Etuzia, you down there? Etuzia? You and I are okay. Everyone else probably take it worse, especially poor LZ. Your voice carries. Is that what you were wondering? Elsie's found it. There's a passage here about the Tower of Locks. It didn't have a title, but it was next to a big book of legends. Come listen to this. It sums up the account we read in our compendium, but it finishes with an afterword. There, sealed fast, legend claims they prisoned a great beast, perhaps the very tyrant who once scattered the pillars of Calm Court and toppled the Wildermyth of old Kier. And so, the last two Kieran sorcerers would have descended the mountains, and the salt and mist could not have been told from the desperate taste of their lips. For a mixed surely, they were their kisses and tears. The pink light aged purple, and they passed from myth's page entirely. Pink light, salt on the mist. I know those mountains. I think we must call that clue enough. What's up? We have to go now? I get the knot of apprehension between my wings. The hunting cat makes show of her lazy lips, and so renders the deathly pounce more sudden. For such a superior thing as a cat, the proud mouse beside the scared is ever the more satisfying meal. They're away by nightfall. Ok, quindi direi che uno, concludiamo l'episodio, due, abbiamo quindi un'idea di partenza su dove dobbiamo andare e abbiamo fatto la cosa sbagliata andando in quel posto là. Ma ora dove... Open the Tower of Locks. Dov'è il Tower of Locks? Ah, qua. Ma... dell'altra infestazione da quell'altro lato. Ovvio. Ci dovremo pensare dopo, ci arriverà l'incursione. Abbiamo 3 tile infestate, però una è qua e l'altra è qua giù. Se l'incursione parte da qua, siamo un po' nella cacca. Ma lo scopriremo nel prossimo episodio. Detto questo, io come al solito vi invito a lasciare un mi piace, un commento qua sotto e iscrivervi al canale se per caso non l'avete già fatto. Ciao a tutti, buona giornata.